Welcome to Sports Talk with John and John. That's John, he's John, and me? Well, I'm the shark.
AFC South. We had a
Uh-oh.
team in the AFC South that played a
Yeah,
very well
there.
game, and that was the Colts versus the Dolphins. Jonathan,
Danny
what's your take on
Dimes.
that?
Danny
Yeah,
Dimes.
so we just got finished talking about New York Giants.
I don't even know why I
Ironically,
wasted our breath.
Yeah, for sure.
the guy that the New York Giants let for a stick of bubble gum and an old issue of the Daily News basically
What?
goes over to the
What?
Indianapolis Colts, and this guy just did something I've never seen him do when he played for the Giants. Daniel Jones went off. He went 22 for 29. He had a 75% completion rating
Danny
for
Dimes.
272 yards, one tutty, no picks, QBR of 126. By the way, he also
Woo!
ran two in. Okay.
Woo!
Now, I don't want to talk about Miami's non existent defense. I don't want to talk about the fact that, Daniel Jones had one touchdown pass, right? And that was to Michael Pittman Jr., right? But let's think about this for a second. Daniel Jones actually completed passes to 7 different receivers.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now I watched him for 5 years with the New York Giants, 6 years with the New York, 5 years with the New York Giants, and I'm going to be completely transparent here. You know what? I've never seen Daniel Jones play as good of a game with the Giants as he did with the Indianapolis Colts his first game. So my question isn't because the Indianapolis Colts personnel isn't that much better than the Giants personnel was when Daniel Jones was on the team. It's not. It's not like they're all world, with the exception of Michael Pittman Jr., right? But then again, Daniel Jones had Saquon Barkley, right? So, superstar for superstar. Well, my question is that I think this has much to do with, and the question I do have is this about coaching or is this just a resurgence of Daniel Jones? Because part of me wants to believe that coaching has so much to do with the performance of some of these athletes and these players. And I think in this case, I think this is more referendum on Giants coaching than Daniel Jones's playability. What do you think?
Michael?
I'm probably going to take, to be completely honest, I'm going to go the coaching route. I never was a believer in the Giants coaching staff, especially after Eli Manning left and Tom Coughlin retired. He was definitely a coach I respected. And I don't think Brian Daboll is necessarily a bad coach, but I don't think that he is a head coach. I put him in the category with the Mike Daniels over in Miami. Again, just a bad coach. I'm like that. I'll go real hard on the coaching staff because they're at the top of the pyramid. Also, he kind of reminds me of the coach who used to coach for the Chargers. What was his name? Brian Stanley? No, the one they fired. He was
Anthony
terrible.
Lynn? Anthony Lynn?
Ah, man, if
Was
that
the new
was it.
coach?
This is not too long ago. He was just
Oh, yeah,
terrible.
yeah, yeah. I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about. Yeah.
yeah, he was
One
terrible.
season
His
guy.
name would pop up. Yeah, one season. Yeah, he was just
One
terrible.
season.
Um, and again, I'm just gonna go coaching because the evidence will show that Sam Darnold left two very bad organizations. I'm not talking about the 49ers. He barely played, but he left Carolina, he left the Jets, and he had a very successful time in Minnesota that got him the bag. Now we're seeing Daniel Dimes, Danny Two Nickels, not Danny Dimes anymore. This is a new day. This is Danny Two. This is Danny Two Nickels. Now we see Danny Two Nickels, who I was excited about because I am very big on training camp. That's why I took the Steelers for the under. I could be wrong. I took them on the under because Aaron Rodgers never has a good training camp because he doesn't train in the offseason. He doesn't really practice. But I heard great reports on Danny Dimes. I know he was in big communication with not Kevin O'Connell, excuse me. He was in big communication with the head coach. What's his name? Stefanski?
No, no,
Who's
no.
the coach of the Colts? No, not Stefanski.
No. Coach of
Um,
the Colts is Shane
yeah, Shane Steichen. Steichen.
Steichen. Yeah,
Yeah,
Shane
he
Steichen.
was. Yes, he was. Shane Steichen said Danny would hit me up every morning. He wanted update on the playbooks. He was texting the players, let's go throw some balls around. Let's go practice, let's go train. He was constantly in the playbook. So even Danny said himself, like, you know, I had to really work for it and I had to prove my worth because he was battling for that, that starting job versus AR, who was there, third round? It's not third round. First round,
First round.
third overall pick in the first round. So again, like, he's not damaged goods, but he still has a great case to be the starting quarterback. So I'm gonna lean on the coaching. I think coaching matters. I think coaching builds confidence and maturity in players. And if done right, you can turn somebody who is that lost diamond into that golden pearl that you always wanted. So I like to believe that coaching does matter. So bravo to Danny Two Nichols. I was happy to see him do well. And also, don't forget, shark bait. There was shark bait on the Colts. You guys took the under, and I said, no. The Colts are going to win the North. No, Jonathan. No.
Let it rest.
No.
Let it be.
I took the shark bait on the Colts.
Okay.
They are on the way to something.
To win the AFC South.
Yes.
The Colts win the South.
And then you know what? I just said they were gonna win their over, and they'll make it to the playoffs.
Are you done?
Okay. All right, yeah, we're done.
Are you done?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just Colts.
Wait.
Simple.
Last
Go ahead.
thing. Can we agree that Miami's cooked? Because I took Miami under.
Yeah, Miami's cooked. I didn't even want to bother talking about them.
Yeah, why even talk about them?
I'm not.
They're a broken team.
I'm not going on Miami yet. Let me just spend my 3 minutes, please, on Danny Two Nichols. I've seen this before. I've seen a guy written off.
Gino.
Gino. I've seen first round draft picks go to teams that they weren't the proper fit for the team, and I don't think Daniel Jones was a Baker. Daniel Jones wasn't the pick for the Giants. I think if Daniel Jones had went to the Colts, what the Colts would see is what they're seeing right now. Styles make fights. Some players don't perfect or become the player that they can be in certain markets or certain teams. I think that's the case for Daniel Jones. Management aside, coaching aside, it wouldn't have made a difference. He just wasn't that guy. And then when a new coach comes along, Draybold, he's like, I'm done with this guy. He's not what I like altogether. So I don't think Draybold ever supported Daniel Jones to begin with. Then again, on the other side of that perspective is in Indianapolis, that Daniel Jones might have won a game today, or in this case, on Sunday. The question will be, is if the Daniel Jones that was showing up who was losing games resurrects his head, do we just forget about Sunday and say, you know what, this is the guy we always saw? Or do we say, or is it said, hey, it's just a bad game and we'll just move on? And that's my point. He's on the margins right now, so slim, even with the coach him up. He's calling every day. He's doing this and that. Okay, fine, whatever. I don't buy into that anymore. Like, it's no more than, he's at the practice facility first in the morning and he's last at the practice facility, but he doesn't have a sack this entire year. Those accolades and those things are, you got an A on the exam. Well, okay, you're supposed to get A on the exam. You studied. If you got a C, then we have a problem. And I don't buy into that. And it gets obnoxious when I keep hearing it over and over again. And I'm not going to make this a racial issue, but I hear it over and over again. The resurrection of Daniel Jones' career will come when he can do 5 things. Just 5. He can win this game, and he can win the next 4 games. And then we can talk about the resurrection of a career. Winning this game, playing the way he did, the numbers suggest that, hey, if Daniel Jones is going to be 22 for 29, by the way, these are not so big from his giant numbers, 22 for 29, 2-7.
They are.
Okay,
Daniel
all right. Jones used to only throw the ball maybe 21 times.
Okay, he's 22
times some games.
Okay, 22 for 29, 272, one tutty, and no interceptions. Okay, no interceptions. The running game for the Colts really helped him out pretty big because Jonathan Taylor was big, 18 rushes, 71 yards. J.D. Gibbons was 41 yards, and Daniel Jones himself had 26 yards rushing. So if my math is correct, they're 130 yards rushing and 270 yards passing between three players. That's not bad, and that can win you some games in NFL. Again, 300 yards passing and 130 yards rushing in the NFL. That'll put you in the top 10 in the NFL. Can they do that? And then you throw in Michael Pittman with 80 yards and Ty Warren with another almost 80 yards. Then you have two receivers that are almost 200 yards between them. Those are the kind of numbers that put you in that top echelon or in that top percentile in the NFL. The question is, can Daniel Jones do this for the next 4 games? And my answer is, I don't think he can. And I'm done with it.
Okay. Two things real quick. Number one, do you know why this game was so big for Indianapolis? Because the last time they won a season opener was September 9th, 2015. So it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since they won a season opening game.
Okay.
That's huge.
But Jim Irsay also died.
And Jim Irsay also passed away. Rest in peace to him.
Rest in peace.
Number 2 is, if you just judge this game by the stats, I can't give you that one.
No.
Because you would do, if you just looked at Justin Fields' stats, you'd be like, 16 for 22, 218, and 1 touchdown. And you'd be like, okay, what did he do? No. This is where the eye test comes in. Because I seen a Daniel Jones that I've never seen before.
Absolutely.
He was on point. He was not sloppy. He didn't make any mistakes.
None.
He played some of the best football I've ever watched him play. As a matter of fact, I would put him as a top 3 quarterback performance for the first week one. Top 3.
You're stretching it.
I mean, it's debatable.
You're stretching it. You're stretching it.
I would put him top 3.
Stretching
you know
it.
why? No, he made some really good pass. I seen a deep ball.
Mm-hmm.
I seen play action on the run.
And that deep ball was on the run too, by the way.
And yep.
Yeah.
And I seen a touchdown pass, and also like that over the middle, like he threw a pass over the linebacker's head over the. He connected with Michael Pittman. He connected with Tyler Warren, the rookie who I've been talking about, the rookie tight end. He caught the first pass of the game, and they set the tone right from the beginning. He said, no. This isn't going to be a Jonathan Taylor day like everyone expected. This was a Daniel Jones winning the game. So Daniel Jones won that game. He won that game.
The teammates rallied behind him as well too. By the way,
they sure did.
They
sure did.
He looked like he actually belonged. He looked like he found the home. I'm just gonna look. I know it's week 1. I don't overreact, but at the end of the day, pardon me for doing that, because Daniel Jones in his tenure with the Giants only managed to be on an offense team that scored 30 one time. One time. Goes first game out there, they put up 33. By the way, there were no defensive touchdowns on that for the Colts either. That was all offense production.
Daniel Jones had 200 yards in the first half.
Yeah,
200 yards passing in the first half.
So whatever Shane did, by the way, just to segue back to Brian Daboll that my dad mentioned, Brian Daboll was credited as being the quarterback whisperer. The reason why I ask about the coaching is because Brian Daboll was credited as the quarterback whisperer, credited for getting Josh Allen over the hump. You know what? Evidently, maybe we need to reevaluate that moniker, because you know what? Maybe Shane Steichen should be credited with the quarterback whisper, because the reclamation project known as Daniel Jones looked like he arrived this past Sunday. So
a little early, a little presumptuous for any of our callers. 504-434-2509, Sports Talk with John and John at gmail.com. I need to see 3 more games out of Daniel Jones. I need to see, just so that you know, for the record, the next game is against the Denver Broncos. That's a pretty good defense. And if he shows what he showed today against a really good defense, a good front 4 and a good back end, and certainly a coach who can scheme up for a Daniel Jones, It should be interesting. Any predictions on that game? I guess we'll wait later for those predictions, but I don't see it pretty well. And if the Colts have a bad showing in that game, are either of you off that Danny Jones, or you're still staying on that Danny Jones train?
I'm standing on it. I took them to go over.
Okay, that's all I need
And
to hear.
and let's not pretend like the Colts defense didn't have 3 sacks, 2 picks. That Colts defense looked it sharp out
Look,
there, right or wrong.
It was
I don't
Tua.
care.
It was Tua.
Daniel Jones can go out there next week and go 1 for 19. It's still the best game I've ever seen him play at this point in time. I didn't think he was capable of throwing the ball more than 6 yards a pass attempt. The guy was over 10 with his first game against the Colts. I think whatever Daniel Jones does is going to be icing on a cake the rest of the season at this point in time because he wasn't expected to do anything. Personally, I think going to Indianapolis was a blessing in disguise. No bright lights. Instead, he has cornfields. You know what?
I get tired of that, by the way. No. We're not buying that. Whether it's bright lights or cornfields, you're an NFL player. You got to show up and do your thing. And I'm not buying into that. We're not going to give a guy, hey, you know what? You need to play in a backyard that has sand in it because you don't play well on concrete. Nah. You're going to play on concrete. Get over it. Make it happen.
Hey, I'm just telling you, you know what? Playing in New York
is hard.
Type of pressure.
Absolutely.
Maybe the guy wasn't cut out for that market. I don't know. Maybe it's bad coaching, bad whatever, but certainly it looked like there was no pressure, and everything looked like water off a duck's back with that guy on Sunday. He looked like he was definitely a top 5 quarterback of week 1. Certainly, I wouldn't say top 3, but definitely top 5.